Hey guys, welcome to lesson 5, in which we are going to study the cat's anatomy to reflect it on the tarot cards. What we are going to do is paint over the pictures, lowering the opacity, and with a red pen I'm going to mark the main geometric shapes of the cat to later on break them down. Let's start with the head. As you see, the cat's head is composed of a main oval and a second one, that would be the mouth. The cat's mouth is divided in two parts, the upper part and the jaw. Then we'll have the ears and the eyes, and beneath the head we'll have the neck that is a cone structure, and after that the breast, backside and back. In this case, I'm drawing the bigger structures and how they would look one inside the others. In order for you to understand it better, I'm going to delete the middle part to see clearly the three structures. Let's continue with the rear paws. They are composed of the thigh, that is like a big cone, and then two other structures that would be the claw. The direction of the paws is different from the human's knee. First, they go inwards and then outwards. However, the front legs are quite straight. They are composed of two main structures. Let's move on to the next cat. Although this cat pictured is in 3/4, we can see, like in the other cat, that the head is an oval and another one that would be the mouth. And it's divided in two parts, and in the upper part would have the nose and the eyes. The neck would be also a cone, and from here would have three other basic structures of the cat's body. In this case, we cannot appreciate them very clearly since the cat is sitting. When the cats are sitting or laying down, they tend to be curvilinear. Therefore, in many occasions, we'll be able to simplify the line with just one stroke. If we want to delimit the cat's anatomy, then we'll have to divide every part of the cat to differentiate the muscles and the bones. However, in this case, we are making a garden-style drawing and it would be necessary. So here I've chosen a couple of poses to study the different ways in which the cat's anatomy can be seen. In this case, the cat's head is almost in a frontal perspective, but as you can see, the structure is still the same. The upper mouth and the lower mouth is divided by a kind of triangle, composed by two curved lines that turn upward slightly. Here you can check how the body structure can be simplified with just a curved line. Cats are very flexible and agile, and can move their bodies in ways that we, humans, are not able to imitate. That way, they can squeeze and stretch, carving their bodies, so that's why curves are really important regarding cats' anatomy. Now let's continue with the cat on the right. As you can see, the anatomic structure and its pose are very exaggerated. This happens when cats stretch and raise their backside. That way we can see that the curve has a kind of S shape. In the area next to the head, the curve goes downwards, and in the area of the backside, it goes upwards. Actually, it can be simplified with a single line, although I prefer to highlight each part to understand better this structure that we've been studying from the start. Great! Now that we've seen these 4 poses, I'll show you them without the pictures. This way you will be able to see how it looks. The next thing we are going to do is drawing them in the right side of the canvas, following the anatomic structures we've studied before. In this case, let's start with the head and the mouth. We could start with a line that would go all over the anatomy of the cat. It would be like the skeleton, and from there we'd add the basis of the body. But in my case, what I'm going to do is place the structures of the body separately and without drawing a line for the whole skeleton. Another thing we have to bear in mind when drawing cats is the fur, since depending on their breed, it would have more or less fur. If they have a lot of fur, a big part of the anatomy will be covered by it. Therefore, we'll need to draw a different type of lines. In this case, you only need to look for references of the breed of the cat you want to draw. When making some sketches of different cat breeds, you'll see the differences between them. But basically, the anatomic structure will be the same. The only thing that might vary is the length or width of the elements like the legs or the mouth. Okay, now I'm going to highlight some of the lines to show you how the structure is looking now. Well, guys, now that we've drawn the first cat, let's continue with the others. In this case, we have these cats with the backs turned to us. Let's start drawing the first on the left. In this case, the structure we can see from the back are the neck and the two main parts of the bodies. From the front, we'll have the belly. That will be the third element we usually draw. But as it's not visible from the back, it's not necessary to draw it now. What we need to draw is the part of the paw that is visible, this little part. Another interesting thing when drawing the tail is that inside of it, there are some vertebrae that allows them to move. Well, with this third cat, what we are going to do is see how we can do the anatomic structure of the cat when it's twisted or in a strange position. To begin with, we have the mouth opened, so we just need to divide the two parts of the mouth. It is separating the upper part and the jawbone. Perhaps you might need to turn to other references to draw it right. As you can notice, the body is a bit twisted. We just have to know every part that we studied before and place them in the position that the cat has in the picture. Guys, it's very important that you pay attention to the joints and the key points you see in the picture because it will indicate us what is the underlying cat's anatomy. Okay, now I'm going to highlight some of the lines to delimit the anatomy even more. That way you'll see better the outer part of the cat. Okay, lastly, we are going to draw this pose. In this case, the cat is directly looking to us. It might seem that the structure is flat, but actually we need to work with the same structure than before, differentiating the mouth and the head. Pay attention to it as we are going to split it up. Here I've drawn the structure of the nose. Cat noses are very interesting and have a specific form. It's important to know this when drawing cats to simplify it. In this case, the body structure is composed almost entirely by curved lines. The cat is quite squeezed as it's laying down. Therefore, we can find this type of curves. However, you have to bear in mind the structure of every part. As always, I'm going to highlight some of the outer parts of the cat to see how the anatomy is composed. Great! Let's go now over everything we've done so far. Excellent! Now that you know every part of the cat's anatomy, Let's continue with the next lesson, in which we are going to make these cats with the cartoon style and also try to take them to a medieval style. So guys, I really hope that you've liked this lesson and that you've learned a lot. See you in the next one. Bye!